Shalom Aleichem. We are learning the Sicha Bechukosai Beis, which is based on a Farbrengen of Shabbos Parshas Bahar Bechukosai Tafshin Lamed Zayin. Now, what's fascinating, just a few comparisons between what we learned in the Sicha and what was in the original Farbrengen. So, pretty much the entire Ois test was not in the original Farbrengen. The whole idea that because we act as a mashpia, and we are a mashpia because we come from Atzmos, therefore our reward is in the way of Ashpa. That was a insight that didn't make it that the Rebbe didn't share originally. But here's a few words that the Rebbe said in the Farbrengen, which didn't make it in. It's beautiful words, just the way the Rebbe describes it. Again, sometimes when it goes into essay style, which is the Sichas, it doesn't fit. But when it was written in oral form, it came across. So here, let's look at some of the words of the Rebbe when he started talking about that in Rashi, there's also Yena Shal Torah. So also in this Rashi, there's Yena Shal Torah, that means Chassidus. Rashi says, I will go away from all my occupations. What's the occupation of the Eibishter? It says a few times Chassidus. And in the Geras HaKodesh, Simin Yud Zayin, as mitzvah Seishla Kadosh Baruch Hu is mitzvah tzedakah. That what is Hashem's mitzvah? It's the mitzvah of tzedakah. Again, I don't think this made into the actual Sicha. V'sishtei the chava mitzvahs chama'od. As it says, Hashem, your mitzvah is very expansive. What's your mitzvah? Alter Rebbe explains in the Geras HaKodesh, your mitzvah is tzedakah. But im Ganze, the Shtalshlus and alles, was the Eibishter gemacht, is not even for tzedakah, everything, the whole Seder Shtalshlus, the whole creation of all the spiritual worlds, and everything the Eibishter made is a union of tzedakah. And here's just the expression that Rebbe says, the Eibishter is keinem garni mechuyev chazasham. The Eibishter owed nothing to nobody. In other words, he didn't have to do this. It was in garnit muchtich. He's not forced to do anything. When alles was tut is not b'bchirasi achavshis, and everything he does is in his absolute free will. Because in his pure and simple, in other words, uncomplicated will, the Eibishter decided he wanted to do it. And he could have done it differently. Sfidas and Kates, he could have made endless sfidas. Und das was is the SS first, the fact that there's only 10 spheres, not 100 or a billion or infinite, is das nur mitzad December, because that's what the Eibishter wants. That erste Tzimtzum, the first Tzimtzum, the holding back, the erste Kav, the first line, after Hashem makes a Tzimtzum, that now some light has to come through. So there's a little, almost like whatever, in our imagination, a line through which the Eibishter shines in post Tzimtzum. The erste Mati v'lay Mati, the first time that there is the giving, not giving, is that's alt b'reish homenos the mulka. Where was the first Tzimtzum? Where was the first Kav? Not before Atzilus, not in the worlds. It was in the first moment, in the mind of Hashem. The first desire of the Eibishter is already the Tzimtzum, when Hashem condenses himself to want something, to want this world. But all this, all of creation is Giluyim. Because Vibaltzi is Asakai, because it's my occupation, so that's a Gilui. The Indian of Gilui is division, multiplicity. So I am busy with things. The second I say it's things, not essence, more than just the Eibishter's essence, that's already Giluyim. Because even that Indian fun hayahu shmoy levad is also Indian from the even when it says that before the world was created, Hashem and his name were one, but there's and his name. That's already division. Sizdahu and Sizdah shmoy. There's him and there's his name. Das is nor in an eifem for Bolvat. The point is there was only those two. But Atzmus is hecher from Kalagilim, but Atzmus is higher than Hu Shemai. Vibald as is da hecher madega nebishten muss man sagen, as he can hinzu der Griechen, weil der Mayudis da chelik hamamsh. Because there's a higher level than Hu Shemai, you must say that a Yid can reach there, because a Yid is part of the Eibishter. And that's why we say this is the logical progression that we come to that says, as a Yid der Greich den Atzmus Alein. A Yid can reach Atzmus Alein, but der far sagt der Eibishter Efnami Kalasagi. That's why Hashem says, I will turn from all my occupations. Was Asik is in Gilui, because Asik is Gilui. Aber da hat man Atzmus Alein, was is Hecher von Asakai. Und steht in der Öfen von Panisi sein Pnimius. In other words, it's in the Öfen of Pnimius. And that's the Ida. Bane Chaim Zayin the Viche is a definite thing Hashem will give the Yidden Nasad Yishmechem Edom. But the Chiddush is more, that the Eibishter goes away from all his occupations. He leaves the entire Sedel Shtalshlus V'Giluyim Anazait, just that expression. He leaves the whole Sedel Shtalshlus and Giluyim on the side. Und vernimmt sich mit der Yidden. And he keeps himself occupied. He cares, he pays attention, he spends time with the Yid. As a Yid is mit Atzmus another Shemalka. A Yid's with Atzmus, literally one with the king. Just such beautiful words that the Rebbe said when sharing this Farbrengen.